Hope you guys are having a great day. This is Aiken Storty, Mr. Make and Pay, host Extreme Foolishness TV. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please take the time now to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time I upload a video. You do not want to miss out on any Extreme Foolishness story I upload. Today I'll be talking about a black lady who went to New York City and defaced a Black Lives Matter sign that was painted in front of Trump Towers.
Black people, you're lying. No, we're not standing with Black Lives Matter. We want our police. Refund our police. Refund our police. Y'all don't care about Black lives. Y'all don't care about Black lives. Refund the police. Refund the police. They say Black Lives Matter. They say Black Lives Matter, right? They say Black Lives Matter. Oh, they don't care about Black lives. They don't care about Black lives. They don't care. 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 Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund the police. They don't care about Black lives. They lie. They liars. They're liars. They say they care about Black lives, and they're saying to defund the police. All for the sake of black people. The Blasio doesn't care about black people. Refund the police. Refund the police. Refund the police.
She went there, and from the video, she was screaming, "All lives matter." I think she was screaming, "Jesus matters, refund the police." I don't know whether they were giving a refund, but she kept saying, "Refund the police," saying that they're all liars. She was being a little bit dramatic. She was screaming on the top of her voice. And it's funny that as she was screaming, kneeling down, pouring black paint on the Black Lives Matter sign, you have police officers were there. I'll say maybe 4 or 5 police officers. And those officers looked like they were acting. Because are you telling me that 4 or 5 police officers could not restrain this lady and stop her and apprehend her? It looks like the police officers just let her deface the sign and they let her have her way. They kept acting as though they were trying to restrain her, but she was able to walk and damage the sign and deface the sign for a long time before she was eventually apprehended. There was an officer there who appears to fall down while he was trying to hold her.
Refund the police! Fuck you! Refund the police! Fuck devil! Refund the police! 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 Jesus matters! Jesus matters! We will never support Black Lives Matter!
Why don't you stop her? Oh, you want her? That's what it is.
Why? I mean, that's what it looks like. And I'm thinking if he really fell down because this lady's hand pushed him to the floor, that officer may need to find another job. Because you want to tell me that a lady kneeling down inadvertently knocks you down with her left hand? I'm thinking he may have slid because of the paint on the floor. Maybe that he slid and he hit his head on the floor. So I hope that officer recovers as soon as possible. Wish him speedy recovery. But you know, if he fell down because that lady's hand pushed him, then maybe he needs to hit the gym and lift some weights and, you know, bulk up a little bit so he doesn't get knocked down so easily in the future. But anyway, I mean, this lady appears to be an up-and-coming conservative who has a social media or YouTube platform or whatever. I'm not going to mention her name here. But it appears a lot of these black conservatives usually try to do a little bit extra, a little bit too much. I'm sure you've heard people say, you go the extra mile. A lot of them go the extra 10,000 mile just to clout chase. I mean, it appears this is just clout chasing. A lot of these black conservatives say anything anti-black. because that is a fast way for them to gain attraction or to gain a following in a certain faction of the conservative party that has an insatiable appetite for any story that's anti-black. These people know the exact words to say. They would never say anything pro-black. A lot of them call themselves conservatives, but they don't even preach about conservatism. They don't know anything about conservative values. All they know is anti-black. They will say something like, oh, black people always claim that they're victims. Black people always blame the police. Black people feel like they always have to vote Democratic. Black people are on a Democratic plantation. It's always black, 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 black. You know, there's a lot of them out there. I'm sure you know their names. I'm not going to mention their names here. But they usually will say all those things just to get a following in a certain faction of the conservative party. If, for example, there's a video that shows a police officer beating a black person and the officer is clearly wrong, they will say, like the George Floyd situation, they would say, well, George Floyd deserves justice. He should get the justice he deserves. The officer was wrong, but they will dig into the history of the person, and that has nothing to do with it. They will say something like, oh, George Floyd was a murderer. George Floyd was a this. George Floyd was a criminal. He was a thug. He was a gangster. He did something when he was a teenager. They will find something in his history to take away, to pretty much deviate from the exact matter at hand. They cannot unequivocally condemn a police officer doing something against a black person, even if it's clear. Another instance is if there's a video that shows an officer doing something clearly wrong or something wrong, they would say, well, we can't rush to conclusion. Investigation is ongoing. So let's see what happens later on. Let's see what the facts will uncover. They cannot unequivocally state the obvious just because they do not want to offend their following. A lot of them need their daily dose of anti-black rhetoric. So those are the people, a lot of these black conservatives are the ones who will say things that maybe a white person would not say, or would not want to say. So that is how they gain their following. You can clearly see from this video that this girl was doing a little bit too much. If you look at her other videos online, she tries too hard just to prove a point. And when somebody's trying a little bit too hard, you know that they usually don't have that much substance. Like, she didn't have to be this dramatic just to deface a sign, to deface the Black Lives Matter sign, screaming on the top of her lungs. The way she was screaming, you would think that she was about to have a heart attack or high blood pressure or something, or she was about to have a stroke. She was screaming so loud, oh, Jesus matters. Come on, that's a little bit too much, a little bit too extra. You didn't have to do all that. You know, so it's just, the way I look at it, she was doing too much. It appears she was arrested eventually. She's going to be charged, and I hope she faces the fullest extent of the law, because you can't just go around defacing government property and pretty much trespassing, destroying a sign there just because you want to gain some following or to prove a point. And it appears that is the third time that sign has been defaced in a week. So obviously you have people out there who are angry at any strides that the Black Lives Matter movement is making. They're not happy. A lot of people out there do not want change. So there are gonna be pretty much some resistance, which is expected. You know, anytime a movement is getting some traction, just like the LGBTQ community, we're getting some traction in the civil rights era, when people are trying to get their rights to vote, to desegregate the schools. Anytime you're trying to do something that is a substantial change from the status quo, there's going to be a lot of pushback. And unfortunately, a lot of those black conservatives are usually the ones doing the dirty grinding. They're the ones who can talk dirty, and because it's an easy way. It's like a formula. It's like a formula. You know what to say. You know the buzzwords to say, the talking points, the code words to say that will get the attention of this faction in the Conservative Party that love anything anti-black. And again, it's clout chasing 101. This girl is clearly clout chasing, and obviously she did a little bit too much, and I think it's extremely foolish. Anyway, that's my take on it. If you haven't subscribed and you've been watching my videos, don't let me get you. You better subscribe. Anyway, I was just joking. Thanks anyway for watching my videos. I appreciate it. Share, like, and subscribe. On to the next one.